Hi everyone, it's Ursula from Cloverdale Community Centre, back again with another video. Today we're going to cook with chicken mince, which was a request that somebody had made about 4 weeks ago when I first started making videos once a week. So we're going to do an Asian stir fry with chicken mince. And cooking Asian style food, first of all, I'm just going to say this, we're not cheating and using frozen or canned or, vegetable mix. And we're not going to buy, I haven't bought the fresh version either from like Safeway or whatever. The other thing is that I don't use the pre-made simmer sauces, particularly the ones like, I don't know, what brands do they have? Like Canton, I find they're too sweet, and then they're not enjoyable compared to what you can make by yourself, and from a small amount of ingredients. I have a literal rage about black bean sauce, because it's actually not, that's a westernized version of Asian food, and I'm not going to claim to be an expert in any of this, but I found that making your stir fry from fresh vegetables and making your own sauce is always so much better. So we're going to do fresh vegetables in our, can you see? Yeah. Fresh vegetables in our stir fry with chicken mince as the protein component. If you're a vegetarian, you can use tofu. I personally can't stand tofu. But if you're into tofu, even if you're not vegetarian or vegan or whatever, go right ahead, do tofu instead. So let's get into it. I'll just wash my hands. So there's losing my words. There are two keys, I guess you could call them, to making a stir fry from scratch. First of all, I'm using an onion. So first key is preparation, because it's so fast. You're doing this and you're doing that, and you want all of your ingredients on your plate or your tray or whatever it is that you've got going. So I'm going to start with just a brown onion. Don't cut it too small because the heat will kill it and shrivel it down to nothing. So I either cut them into like slices, but like segments, I guess you could call them, or I cut it into slices, but they could be, or you can cut them into squares. So I might do squares today. So I'm using half an onion that I didn't use. So that's that size. Oh, lost it. That's that size. We're going to do a carrot. So you've got a couple of options with your carrot for making it small to fry in your stir fry. You can just get your peeler and do it like that, and just peel it lengthways like this. I'll do some of both. So the pros of doing it just peeled like this is that it barely needs any cooking, and you'd more steam it while everything's going. So I might do half up. I can show you both. So I've always loved Asian food, but I didn't attempt cooking it until I came back from a trip to Thailand in like 2011. And I bought all of the Thai cooking books, and I came back right around Christmas. I got, when my sister asked me, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I need a wok. Just want a wok for cooking. I want to try cooking Asian food. So I've had this since, I think, 2011. It's very, very well loved, as you can see. The other good thing about woks, so the other half of this carrot, I'm just chopping them into, it's called julienne. That's a very rough crap julienne, but julienne just basically means sticks, like French fries. So just make sure they're all evened up, because if it's super thick at one end and not at the other, it won't cook through, because stir frying is very fast. Next I've got capsicum. So again, I'll just slice this. Can you barely see what I'm doing? So when I slice my capsicum, I used to slice them like that, but I think it was my cooking teacher said, no, you waste too much food. It's too much food waste if you cut it up like that. So now I cut it in there, scoop out all the pips. Fun fact, you can save these pips and plant them, and they'll turn into capsicums eventually. Talk about sustainability. So I'm going to use this whole capsicum. The other thing, with stir fries, you don't need to go absolutely overboard with the amount of vegetables that you put in, because once you add them all together, they really do add up to be a lot. Sorry, my son's outside playing with the neighbour boy, the next door neighbour, through the fence. So again, these are just sliced thinly. Cob corn. So I'm just going to slice the corn kernels off the cob. And this is, using corn is really fast as well, because it's so small. And, you could probably get away with just steaming them in the pan as well at the end with the shaved carrots. No, we'll do chili if you want chili. I like spicy food. These chilies provide a little bit of heat. If you can't handle heat, don't bother. Don't put any chili in. So they say to take the seeds out if you want it less hot. Apparently that's a myth, and I think it is a myth, because at the start of my spicy food journey, so I've just sliced that down the middle. I'm going to leave the seeds in because it doesn't matter, and then cut these into little. Oh God, I'm really bad at chopping. Yeah, they say all the heat comes from the flesh. I used to take the seeds out, but I don't so much anymore. Especially with these ones, because they're not all that hot. I'm not using the recipe today. Oh, I kind of did. I looked at a recipe. I'll post the recipe up in the description if you want to have a look at it. I just use that as inspiration as to what to put in it, and especially the sauces when we're making up our own sauce. Garlic, so 1 clove of garlic. I think the recipe that I'll post said 2, but I'll be fine. There's heaps of other stuff and flavours in here that will more than make up for that second piece of garlic. Oh, did you guys? Come on. Just smash that up, because it ends up just coating all the food anyway. It's my favourite. So this is baby pak choy. Now, this is really good for you, but it's also really, people don't understand how to use it. So I use it in a couple of different ways. So first of all, to prepare your pack or bok choy, chop the root end off and give it a wash, because see all this? I don't know if you can see, but there is dirt in there, and it's not nice to eat dirt. Done. So you have a couple of choices when it comes to your bok choy or pak choy. You can do it whole, but a way that I like to do it is I separate the leaf from the stem. I put the leaf aside. I will process that later, but then you chop I'm going to need another plate. I'm running out of space. Alright, so then you chop your bok choy, your pak choy or bok choy, whatever. Chop the stem up, because then the stem is the harder bit, and then it can have more cooking time. And I treat the leaf as like spinach that you would steam, that you saute down, and wilt. Sorry, that's the word. That you wilt it down. The leaves are really good for obviously extra iron in your diet, extra bulk in the food, and it also is good at soaking up any extra sauce that's in the bottom. So my version of stir fry isn't going to be very saucy. I'm just going to strip these like this, like I did sort of the carrot and the capsicum, just like that.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Tell me what to do.
There's not much you can do at the minute. Sorry.
I just want to help you.
You want to help?
Yeah.
The smaller you get, you can just chuck it in like that if you want to. Because it should cook. It's not as thick as the bigger pieces. The other way you can prepare your bok choy is just to slice it. I don't know if I said this, but slicing all the way down from the stem to the leaf and having it that way. Depends on what you prefer. Some of you may not even know what you prefer. So when it comes to preparing pak choy or bok choy, because you've never cooked with it before. So just do whatever feels right. Leaves. That's the, yep. That's the stems chopped up into little pieces. I'm just going to shred the leaves, just line them all up and do them all at once. That's that. That's all our vegetables prepared. We might do a sauce. So what I'll be using today are the ramekin to put the sauce in. So your bulk is going to be your soy sauce. So we've got soy sauce, we've got sweet soy sauce. Sweet soy sauce is kind of a thicker sauce. This is the Aldi brand of sweet soy sauce, but there's other ones that you can get. I'm going to be using sweet chili sauce as well, and teriyaki. Where is that? There. This is a bento teriyaki marinade from Safeway that I've just purchased. So I think in the recipe, so the bulk of your marinade sauce is going to be soy sauce. I'm just going to do a tablespoon. I'm not that great with flavours, particularly Asian flavours. but I do know that the bulk, so I'm going to do half, like 1 tablespoon of normal soy and then a tablespoon of sweet soy. Oh, too much. So it's not super thick. All I'm looking for is for it to coat my noodles and my vegetables in a bit of flavour. I don't need it drowning. I don't like it like that. It doesn't need to be drowning in sauce. I'm going to do a teaspoon of, what's this? Sweet chilli. With that second clove of garlic that I haven't done, you could also put, smash that up and put that in there if you weren't using it in there, in the vegetables. So you can smash up your clove of garlic and marinate it in your sauce if you wanted to. Look. I'm going to do a teaspoon of this. Yeah,
Can
I
I
I'm good at the minute.
I want to help you.
So,
Can I help you? What?
yeah, there was something else that I was going to get out. What was it? Oh, I forgot the ginger. Damn it. I love ginger. Oh, I've got to get a thing of ginger. Wah. That's right. We can go without. I feel like I'm missing, that's it, sugar. Put a bit of sugar in. So, I don't think I've got brown sugar, but you normally do brown sugar because it melts, or it melts it into melts into liquids very easily, but this will be fine because it will be cooked. So I'll just use some random amount of sugar. Just a little bit more than a pinch. The other thing that I'm going to be using is sesame oil. But the sesame oil will go on at the end because it's got a very, very low burning flash point. So, the other thing, one more thing, is your choice of noodles or rice. So, you can purchase normal, or like, normal, what's normal anymore? You can purchase your like Hokkien rice noodles, whatever it is that you want, so those ones. But if you forget and your family is crazy about instant noodles, just use that. So it's so easy, and you heat it up, it's all the same preparation. So I'm going to, with these, sit these in water, in hot water, once I get going. So heat. So the mistake that some people make with Asian food is not having their stove up high enough. So this is going to be very high. This is going to be as high as it goes, and that's my hottest burner. And the advantages of using a wok rather than like your normal frying pan, which is a lot heavier, is that the heat transfer, this will heat up very, very quickly with the wok, because it's a very thin, metal, and it will continue heating, and it's very easy to burn stuff in the wok, but the heat transfer is excellent. But I find it's way better than using a normal frying pan. Well, that's a thinner version. What about let's get a medium size frying pan. So the normal thickness of a frying pan, these are meant to retain heat. That's what they're designed for. and they don't actually transfer the heat through fast enough to satisfy stir frying, in my opinion. But if you don't have a wok, just use whatever, but crank it up really high. So the other thing is the oil that you use. So the oil that you use is also very important. Olive oil, olive oil is more for roasting and lower temperature stuff, not that great for stir fries. So I use a vegetable blend which has a higher higher flash point. So have I ever explained what a flash point is? So flash point is the point at which, I don't know if you can see this, but it's smoking, which is good. That's how I like it. Flash point in oil is the point at which it catches fire. Oh, really? Really? Don't even. I'm gonna have to stab this. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, that should be enough. Yeah. So, I can go over there. The other thing I use my wok for is actual like deep frying when I need to deep fry something. Because it's so, well, one, the heat retention and heat transfer is really good. The other thing is because it's got shallower sides than an ordinary saucepan or frying pan. I probably put far too much oil in this. Actually, I have. You want a spatula as well. So I'm just going to tip the excess oil. All I really actually wanted was for there to be a thin coating of oil on this frying pan. I didn't want to deep fry it. I overdone it. So keep your heat really high. The other thing that the wok assists with is kind of burning, caramelizing the edges, the surfaces of the food for that, I guess, authentic flavour that you can't achieve with a regular saucepan unless you've got a massive burner. Next, I'm going to add carrots. Is this going to heat up? I feel like it's lost heat. Come on. It has lost heat because it wasn't up high enough. So remember, I've got the two types of carrots. Okay. Two types of carrots that I've cut. Alright. So that's, there we go. You can also definitely smell the difference. The carrots in. You're going to toss them around, not too much. I'm going to kind of coat them in oil, but you don't toss them too much because they don't cook. Like, stir frying is like a bit of a rush, but it's not too much of a rush. The other thing about woks is because of that high lip, you can toss very easily. So with that excess oil, if you find that you're running out, you just add, I just put mine in a coffee cup, just add a little bit as you go, if it's starting to dry out. So you want to cook the hardest vegetables in to cook first, so they start wilting. That's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. Smaller pieces. This is why it's really important to make sure that your the way that you cut your vegetables are even. So these are all over the place because I don't know. I've been talking and not concentrating. So next I'm going to do capsicum. Chuck that in. When you keep adding your ingredients, and the last lot of ingredients will help to cook the next lot. It's kind of like layering heat, cooking heat. I've got a problem with throwing food out of my saucepans and frying pans. So you definitely want to be listening to your stir fry rather than watching it boil, because that's how you get limp, disgusting vegetables. Next, I'm going to put the bok choy stems, pak choy, whatever it's called. This needs a little bit more oil. Here we go again. You know who is making a good, probably authentic Asian cuisine video is Cloverdale Community Centre. I'll also tag them in the description. I'm going to put the chilli in next and the corn. And the rest of the garlic. Did I not put the garlic in? I think this video is going to be really long. But I tell you what, learning to make your own stir fry from scratch without frozen vegetables or without packet or jarred sauces is absolutely worth it. Next, I'm going to do the chicken mince. So with that bowl that I put I put the pak choy leaves in, I'm going to chuck these vegetables on top of that, and that will start these things wilting down. And then once this frying pan is free and clear, we will put the chicken in. So I'm just going to use, this is a 500 gram thing of mince. I am going to only use half of it. So you don't really need that much meat in a stir fry. If I was using a whole chicken breast, I would just add a little bit more extra oil to that. If I was using chicken breast instead of mince, I would only be using half of a chicken breast. That's how you eat less meat as well. You don't really need, like, I think a quarter of a chicken breast. I looked it up ages ago, but a quarter of a chicken breast is really all you need. Yeah, this is kind of sticky. What a night. So I think because I'm smushing it around rather than letting it cook. We're going to let it cook. And then we're going to... Chicken mince is weird, isn't it? The other thing you can put in as a meat, not meat alternative, as a meat-based product, is bacon. So at this point, I'm going to take this off the heat because that's basically done. It's all broken up and whatnot. That'll break down further as we go. I'm going to put the noodles on to boil or sit in hot water. Drop this out. Noodles. So you can use the seasoning pack if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just too lazy. Now, I'm going to break these up because they get to like this long and you're trying to mix them in and all the goodness just ends up like, the noodles end up as a ball and the vegetables are just kind of rolling around it. So I'll just break them into smaller pieces so they don't do that. Using 2 different brands of noodles or whatever. Does anyone care? Right. Water on top, just enough to cover it. If you don't cover it, little bits of noodles will poke out and they'll be hard. Not very palatable when you put them in your stir fry. So, I'm putting my chicken back on the heat to bring it back up to temperature. Yes, Lucy? You okay, Lucy? You okay, Lucy? You want to say hello? Yes? Just say hello? Look! Look, it's you! You stretching? Cool. Alright.
Hey, yo.
Hey, all. It's hot. Don't touch that pot. I'm just going to put... I should probably tell the story another time and not when time is of the essence. Sauce in to the chicken. It's not coming out. Everybody panic. So it's, because I put sugar in it and there's like sweet chili sauce in it, it kind of became at the bottom and became a bit gloopy. So, you want to cook this down a little bit, not too much, because of the wonderful things she does. No, that's the Wizard of Oz. Because soy sauce is very salty, you do not want to cook it down too much because there'll just be salt everywhere. Unless you like it really salty. So now I'm just going to toss all the vegetables in here, including those leaves, which are going to start wilting down once they hit the heat. So with this, just kind of don't, you've already cooked everything, you don't want to cook it again, you're just kind of combining it. So what I'm doing here is combining the meat with the vegetables and the sauce all together. So, and you can probably see that it's not super saucy. It is coated. There's a little bit of extra down the bottom, but the noodles, when I add them, when they're cooked, will catch that and soak it up. So are these ready? Almost. Ta-da! Nearly ready. Just take that off heat again. This is why I'm not an expert. I'm not a self-proclaimed expert, because I'm missing all these steps. Get a stream of noodles, because they will be ready now. Back on the heat with you. So this will still be tasty though. You can add pepper if you want. I usually don't add salt to stuff that has a high salt content. So when I've got something with lots of bacon in it, I don't add salt. It's too salty for me. Soy sauce, super salty. Just chuck your noodles in. Might need some tongs now. Just going to toss this around. That's all we're aiming to do now, is to just add that sauce to the noodles. To make everything tasty. So now, once I've added, now that these noodles are in, there should be hardly any sauce down the bottom. But again, if you like it swimming in sauce, make like twice as much sauce as I did. This is ready to go. We've got no bowls. What the? Seriously? Oh, it's not a good day. Oh. Oh, it's just not a good day. We have to eat off these. So, there we go. I'm going to try that. Is that off? Yeah. Good stuff. Totally good stuff. Any way I'd make this better, I hope there's a chili. Heat the chilies coming through. I would change out my noodles for something more nutritionally filling, rather than this shit that's I've just got in my pantry. But it did the job, didn't it? Right? Who knew I knew so much about stir frying? For someone who says they're not any expert. Anyway, this was fun. I'll see you next time. Just remember, no, I forgot the sesame oil. You don't cook with it in, but you stir it in. It's an aromatic. It's an aromatic sauce. I'm just going to do a teaspoon. Usually don't measure it, but I just feel like I'm going to be too heavy-handed. So that, stir it in, then you toss it around like you would a salad. Absolutely delicious. See you next time.